In a move that has sent shockwaves through the entire NFL community, the Dallas Cowboys are reportedly in advanced talks to bring one of the league's greatest quarterbacks, Aaron Rodgers, to Dallas. Yes, you heard that right, Aaron Rodgers, who has spent his entire career with the Green Bay Packers, is now being linked with the Cowboys in what could be a game-changing move for both teams and the NFL as a whole. This isn't just a rumor circulating around social media or an offhand comment made by a pundit. This is a developing story with real traction. According to multiple sources inside the Cowboys organization, Dallas is exploring its options at quarterback, and it appears that the Cowboys may be ready to move on from Dak Prescott, opening the door for one of the most significant quarterback moves in recent history. This decision comes amid growing concerns about Dak's ability to lead the team to postseason success, especially after several heartbreaking playoff exits. Dallas has always been a team with championship aspirations, but for years, they've struggled to find consistency in key moments, and that's been evident during Dak Prescott's tenure at the helm. However, with Aaron Rodgers potentially available, the Cowboys are now at a crossroads, considering a move that could drastically shift the dynamics in the NFC and across the entire NFL. For years, Aaron Rodgers has been synonymous with Green Bay, his incredible talent and leadership earning him 4 MVP awards and a Super Bowl victory. But after falling short of another Super Bowl for several seasons, and with the Packers now entering a rebuilding phase, Rodgers could be looking for one last shot at a championship with a team capable of delivering on that promise. This is where the Cowboys come in. With one of the most dynamic rosters in the NFL, featuring elite talent like wide receiver CeeDee Lamb, running back Tony Pollard, and one of the league's most feared defenses led by Micah Parsons, the Cowboys are already in win-now mode. While Dak Prescott has been a serviceable quarterback for the Cowboys, there have been persistent questions about his ability to elevate the team when it matters most, particularly in the postseason. Those questions have intensified after another season of playoff disappointment, and it seems as if the Cowboys are willing to explore alternatives. Enter Aaron Rodgers, who, despite being 41 years old, still remains one of the most skilled and accomplished quarterbacks in the NFL. His ability to read defenses, make pinpoint throws, and perform under pressure is unparalleled. Rodgers could be the missing link that propels the Cowboys to a Super Bowl, and it's no surprise that Jerry Jones and the Cowboys front office are eyeing him as a potential solution to their quarterback conundrum. But let's not sugarcoat the situation. Bringing in Aaron Rodgers comes with its fair share of complexities. First and foremost, there's the financial side of things. Rodgers has a hefty salary, and the Cowboys would need to clear significant cap space to accommodate his contract. However, the Cowboys have a history of making bold moves in order to push for a championship, so it's entirely possible that they would find a way to make it work. On top of that, any trade for Rodgers would likely involve giving up significant assets, possibly including a first-round pick or even key players like cornerback Trevon Diggs or linebacker Micah Parsons. This raises another important question: would the Cowboys be willing to sacrifice their future in order to secure a championship in the short term? The Cowboys have long been considered one of the most talented teams in the NFL, but they've failed to reach the ultimate goal, a Super Bowl victory. With Rodgers, they would have an experienced leader who has been there and done that. He's someone who can perform on the biggest stage, and he would undoubtedly make the Cowboys a much stronger contender for the title. However, the decision to move on from Dak Prescott could come at a great cost both financially and emotionally. Dak has been the face of the Cowboys for years, and his leadership in the locker room is something that the team has relied on. If the Cowboys trade Dak in favor of Rodgers, it could lead to a massive shift in the team's dynamic. Would the Cowboys' locker room be as supportive of Rodgers as they have been of Dak? Would Dak Prescott, who has invested years of his life into the Cowboys, be willing to move on and find a new team? There are a lot of emotions and uncertainties tied to this decision, and it's not a choice the Cowboys will make lightly. Another aspect to consider is the timing of this move. Rodgers' window of elite play is closing. While he remains one of the most talented quarterbacks in the league, there's no denying that his best years are behind him. This makes the idea of a trade even more urgent for both the Cowboys and Rodgers. He doesn't have many seasons left to secure another Super Bowl, and a trade to Dallas could give him one last chance at football immortality. For the Packers, this move would signal the end of an era. After decades of success with Rodgers under center, Green Bay would need to transition to a new quarterback, likely Jordan Love, who has shown flashes of potential but is still largely unproven. While Love may eventually become the franchise quarterback the Packers are hoping for, the team could be in for some growing pains as they enter a new phase. Rodgers' departure would also leave the Packers with an uncertain future, and it would represent the end of one of the most successful quarterback tenure relationships in NFL history. From a league-wide perspective, if this trade goes through, it would send shockwaves throughout the NFC. The Cowboys would instantly become one of the favorites to win the Super Bowl, especially with a future Hall of Famer leading their offense. With Rodgers at the helm, the Cowboys would be positioned to compete with the likes of the Philadelphia Eagles, the San Francisco 49ers, and the Minnesota Vikings for supremacy in the NFC. This would make for an exciting playoff race, with Rodgers' arrival potentially turning the NFC into one of the most competitive conferences in recent years. The ripple effect of this move would also be felt by other teams in the NFL, particularly those that are in a similar position to the Cowboys, teams with a solid roster but a quarterback who may not be able to take them over the hump. Rodgers' move to Dallas could influence other teams to explore trade options for a veteran quarterback, leading to more shifts in the quarterback landscape. But let's circle back to Dak Prescott for a moment. If the Cowboys were to trade him, where would he end up? Several teams could be interested in acquiring Prescott, particularly those who are in need of a starting quarterback but don't want to take a risk on a rookie. Teams like the Indianapolis Colts, the Washington Commanders, or the Las Vegas Raiders could see Dak as a viable option to lead their team into the future. Prescott is still a talented quarterback, and he could thrive in the right system, especially with a solid offensive line and playmakers around him. If Dak were to leave Dallas, it would undoubtedly mark the end of an era, and the Cowboys would have to figure out how to move forward without him. But as we know in the NFL, business is business, and no one is untouchable, especially when it comes to winning championships. It's also important to note that there are still many details to iron out before this potential trade becomes official. The financials, the trade package, and even Rodgers' willingness to join the Cowboys all need to be worked out. This is far from a done deal, but the fact that the Cowboys are even in talks to bring in Rodgers speaks volumes about their ambitions for the future. This is a team that is serious about winning now, and they're willing to make a big move to achieve that goal. As more details emerge, the NFL world will be watching closely to see how this story unfolds. Whether it's Dak Prescott staying in Dallas and battling for his job, or Aaron Rodgers donning the star on his helmet, one thing is for sure: the Dallas Cowboys are about to make one of the most significant decisions in franchise history, and it could change the trajectory of the NFL for years to come. So, what do you think about this potential move? Is Aaron Rodgers the answer to the Cowboys' Super Bowl dreams, or would they be better off sticking with Dak Prescott? Leave your thoughts in the comments below, and don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell to stay updated on the latest NFL news and rumors. This is just the beginning, folks, and we'll be here to break it all down for you as it happens.